and welcome back to another episode of Breaking Character. My name is Jordan-Paige, and I'm the show creator and host. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you like what you see here today, please consider pressing the subscribe button and the notification bell. You can also follow us on Instagram at Breaking Character Show. I've decided I'm going to start doing all of these intros just in one take because that actually feels more natural, even if I mess up. So I am super excited today to have my friend MADISON TRAUB on the show. MADISON is an aspiring filmmaker that has been producing films since she was 13. Her accomplishments include accumulating 10 laurels over the years for her films and receiving over 50,000 views on her YouTube channel, Family Circus Pro. She shares this channel with her sisters, and together they create fun videos, movies, vlogs, and more. So without further ado, let's head to Zoom. Hey everyone, I am so excited to be here today with MADISON. MADISON, how are you doing? What's going on?
I'm doing very well, a bit stressed with work and college and stuff, but other than that, I'm glad to be here.
I am super glad you're here too, and that stress is goodness. That stress never college stuff and just going back to school is just yikes. So I hope that will become less stressful for you. I have to admit I was a little stressed right before this too, because I realized my washer accidentally ruined some of my clothing because stuff bled onto other stuff. So right before this, I was like, really? I was like, I had to check that right before the interview. Oh, why did I do that to myself? But yeah, so I am so excited to have you here on the show. And I know I told you this, but I apologize to anyone. I'm not in my background right now because my cat is sleeping on my chair and I don't have the heart to move her. Because I that's like illegal to me in my eyes. For my cat, I just can't do it. So yes, MADISON, I'm so stoked that you're here. It has been so long since we have seen each other like face to face in any sense, but I love keeping up with you on Instagram and I'm so excited for the projects you have coming up. So let's start this off with two truths and a lie. So I'm going to attempt to guess which one the lie is, and we'll see if I actually get it. I haven't been having great luck so far, so we'll see.
All right, these are very specific. So,
oh, okay.
All right, I once puked down an entire stairwell on a whale watch trip. I once threw a tantrum because I didn't want to eat dessert before dinner. And I face planted into wood chips on school picture day twice.
Oh my gosh. Okay, these are, first of all very entertaining.
Yeah.
Now that it's past the fact, you know, whichever the two true ones are, they are in the past. I'm sure it was not funny at the time. Okay. And when these have specifics, it's like something as small as like a number could be the lie. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna guess that the third one is the lie.
The third one is true. I did face plant on wood chips during school picture day twice.
So which one's the lie?
The first one is the lie. I did not puke down a stairwell on a whale watch trip, but my cousin did. It did happen to my cousin.
Oh no. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry that happened to your cousin and that you face planted into wood. That's not fun.
I don't even know how I managed to do that twice.
I mean, I am also very clumsy. So honestly, I would have been like, yeah, that adds up. That makes sense. So you are an amazing filmmaker. And when I asked you what you'd like to talk about, you mentioned wanting to talk about being an introverted filmmaker and the struggles that come with that. And I relate to that very much so. So what led you to wanting to become a filmmaker and what are some of the challenges you face being an introvert in this field?
Yeah, so when I was younger, I didn't have that one thing that I was like really good at or really passionate about. My older sister, she was an amazing artist, and my younger sister, she did hair and makeup and was really great at that. I didn't have that one thing I was good at. So I'm like, what am I going to do with my life? And then I discovered YouTube and I found this group called Extura Productions. They don't post videos anymore, but they made a couple Hunger Games films and other films. And I was just so inspired by them to make my own films. And that's where I made my first film, which by the way was not so great. I was 12.
Everyone's first film. That's how you start. That's
yeah.
Just like a rite of passage.
Yeah. So I'm like, I want to make a film with my friends. And it was just like a funny, like parody type thing. But afterwards, when I edited the whole thing and I watched it with my family, I'm like, oh my gosh, I actually really enjoy this. And then from then, I just made film after film after film. And I remember sitting in bed one night and just like realizing, oh my gosh, I want to be a filmmaker. That's what I'm good at. So yeah, that's what led to me being a filmmaker. And then definitely the struggles of being an introvert. There's so many challenges. My social battery runs out very, very quickly. So filming for 7 to 8 hours a day with a whole group of people, it gets challenging. And I try to keep my cool. It's not any of the actors' faults. Like, I love them and I love working with them. It's me personally
It's just your
dealing.
social battery.
Yeah, yeah. So by the end of the day, I'm exhausted and just ready to go home. But I really do enjoy the experience of working with everyone. So yeah, you definitely a lot of challenges being an introvert.
It's like the balance of, I don't know if you use the spoon theory, but I use the spoon theory. So it's basically like, let's say you have 10 spoons that you can use for a day. And so let's say on set, you're like, okay, this is going to take 8 of my spoons or like 9 of my spoons, but it is worth using that many spoons to do this because I love it. But you're right. Sometimes if it, yeah, I can empathize with that. And yeah, those stresses of just, you're like, ooh, my social battery is very much running out. The worst is when it starts running out on set.
Yes.
Then you're
And
like,
like
no.
no, it's sometimes when like it gets later in the day and the actors are tired and getting a little bit loopy and I'm like, please, we gotta get this
Please.
done before I go crazy.
Yes, absolutely. So you're also a really big advocate for speaking out against issues in society in your films, which is amazing. How do you decide what issues to tackle or, what gives you inspiration to tackle specific issues in a specific film?
I think a lot of the issues that I do tackle in my films are based on like personal experiences, like stuff I've gone through. But in other films, I do think like I just am looking on Instagram and other social medias and I'm seeing like the world is such a negative place right now. There's so many issues with it, and we're very far from perfection. We're never going to reach it, but we're not in a great place right now. So and I'm like a big advocate for, if you have a platform, like whether big or small, if you have one viewer versus like millions, you should be speaking out about issues in society. Like if our videos got 5 views, I would still be making them just to like maybe help that one person that's watching it. So yeah, I definitely think that that's my aim when I make films, is just to raise awareness to different issues in society.
I think that's great. And I absolutely agree. If you have that platform, it doesn't matter how many people you're reaching, especially if it's something
Mhm.
you're passionate about, speaking out on it is so, is can be so powerful. So wild card
Yeah.
question has nothing to do with anything, but it does have to do with Marvel because you mentioned Marvel. So I wanted to ask, if you could choose a Marvel film that has already been made that you wish you were a part of, which one would it be?
Mm, that's so hard. Um,
And if you have more than one, that's totally cool. You can totally list more than one.
yeah. I I would have to say either Infinity War or Endgame, just because, well, that has like all the characters, and of course I would want to work with all of them if I could. And also just the effects in those two movies and the amount of production I know it took, like that would have been incredible to be a part of.
I remember seeing those both in the theater and just being, that was
Hmm.
before I really like, now I've watched all the Marvel films. Like I
Yeah.
haven't seen Black Widow yet, but I've like watched like in order. I did like chronological order. And so it was before I'd seen the rest of them. And Spider-Man, it was and still is my favorite.
Spider-Man.
But I was like, whoa. I was like, I was emotional during, of course, during
Yep.
Infinity War.
I
And I was
cry
like, I
every
don't even
time.
know who half these characters really are. And yet I'm sitting here like, oh my gosh. So yeah, I think those, and as you said too, everyone's in those. You'd get to work with
Hmm.
everyone. So smart thinking, smart thinking. Well, now it is time for our game of memory association. And the way memory association works is I have my random word generator pulled up here on my phone. It's going to generate a random word, and we are going to say the first memory that comes to our head that we're willing to share when we hear this word.
Okay.
So are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Our word is, this might be a good one or a bad one. The word is office.
Hmm. I don't know.
We can always
I mean,
pick a different one too.
nothing's coming to mind. I'm sorry.
Okay. No. Let's do a different one. Okay. So we've got, let's see. Oh, this one might be a little bit easier. We've got doctor.
Doctor. Okay. Yep.
All right, you go.
um, so, well, my whole family has an issue of passing out with needles. Not my whole family, but the majority of us. So, this isn't a great memory, but I was at the doctor getting a blood test, and I had had one before and passed out, but I thought it was a one-time thing. So I was getting this blood test, and it was fine when the needle was in my arm. And then the doctor pulls it out, and she's like, "Okay, hold this like cloth on it." I'm like, "Okay." And then I turn to my mom, and I'm like, "I don't feel good." And she's like, "Okay." And I'm like moving myself back and laying against the wall, and then I was out. And the funny thing is, I had like a Hamilton song playing in my head the entire time. So when I was passed out, I was like dreaming of Hamilton, like because I was trying to distract myself from passing out with Hamilton music, and it did not work. But yeah.
Oh my gosh. That is, I thankfully, I've had so many needles, so I'm glad I don't pass out with needles, but your story made me think of one as well that involves passing out at a doctor's office. So, there was one time I went in for like a strep test just to like one of the minute clinics. So
Hmm.
and I was pretty sure it wasn't strep, and it ended up not being strep, but I just wanted to double check and be sure. And while I was there, the doctor was like, "Hey, you have like a lot of wax in your ears." And I was like, "Yes, I know. It's just, it's a thing. Like it always happens. I understand." She's like, "Well, do you want me to like get some of it out?" And I was like, "No, I'm good." My mom was like, "Well, we're here, so you might as well." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, I guess." Was not a good idea, because usually, and I've had that done before, and like, I mean, it's not fun, but like it was fine, you know? I don't know. Well, now I know, but at the time I had no idea like why this happened. But so she's doing that, whatever, and all of a sudden I'm like, whoa. I'm like, something is not going well. And all of a sudden, the next thing I knew, I was opening my eyes and I was staring at the ceiling. And I was like, wait, what? And I on like the little bed thing. So I didn't fall to the floor.
Yeah.
But my mom told me later, I literally just went like I went over, and they had to like
Oh.
catch me quickly so I wouldn't like flop onto the bed super hard. And yeah, later on, so the doctor ended up telling me that she thinks it's I have a sensitive vagus nerve. And so that is where, like, you know, when you see, especially in like old films, and like a woman gets scared or someone gets scared and they pass out, and you're
Yeah.
like, what? That's weird. Yeah, that's where that comes from. I think my theory is it's an actual thing. Because if you like flinch, and that's what we think happened, is I flinched harder than normal, and I triggered the vagus nerve, and that's what caused like
Oh
my
no.
pressure to drop. And yeah, I was just out. So that was now my mom felt so bad. She was like, "I am so sorry I said we should do that." And I was like, "We both didn't know that was going to happen, but I'm never doing that again.
Yeah,
Never
that's probably
happening
not a
again.
good
It's not
idea.
happening." So, good times passing out at
Yeah.
doctor's offices. Love it. So your channel has grown so much since the first time, since we first met, and you yourself have grown so much as a creative, which has been so incredible and inspiring to see. So what's changed since you first started your channel, and is there anything you would change about the path that you've taken since you started?
I think actually not that much has changed about like my sisters and I. I feel like we're the same. We have the same mentality as we did when we were 12 and 13. Of course, I think our films have gotten better, but um, like we're still really passionate about what we do, and we don't do it for the audience. We don't specifically make videos just because like
They
people want
want you
it.
to.
Yeah, we do it for ourselves. And like I said before, if we had one viewer, we would still be making videos. So I think us three, like we haven't changed a lot, but the channel definitely has grown. And I've been teaching myself how to do more things in film. You know, editing has gotten better, special effects and audio, and I've definitely made more connections over the years as well as I made with you.
Yay.
Yeah, even this past summer, like I've made so many connections from just the film I shot earlier this summer. So that's been great. And I don't think I would take a different path at all. I'm really proud of what we've accomplished so far, and I'm excited to keep it going as much as we can. If people keep watching us, great. They don't, great. We're just gonna keep making content.
As you said, you do it for you, which is great. And
Yeah.
I'm really glad you said that you wouldn't want to change anything. I thought I would throw that in there because I was interested to hear if you would say something, but I'm glad to hear that you didn't, because I think we all are, we do the way our journeys take place. It's individual and it's different for everyone. So,
Hmm.
I think those things that happen, if you're like, man, I really wish that hadn't happened, but you learned from it and you grew from it. And so you're like, wasn't that pleasant? No, but I learned how to deal with it. And so
Yeah,
I'm so glad to hear.
exactly.
I personally too, I am so excited to see when it comes out, the film that you guys shot this summer. I
Yes.
love the behind the scenes photos so much. I love it so, especially when you did the fisheye filter on
Oh
all
my
of
god.
them. I was cracking up. Oh my gosh. So yes, for everyone who has not seen any of Family Circus Pro's films, go watch them right now and be on the lookout for the one that they shot this summer coming out. So could you give some advice to those that are watching? This could be career advice, life advice, whatever type of advice you would like to give.
Yeah. Um, this might sound cheesy, but like no dream is too big to achieve. If you want to be a movie star, like go for it. If you want to direct a Marvel movie, go for it. Like, and be persistent about it. Don't give up. You will face a lot of challenges in life and in film or whatever industry you're going into. You have to persevere and keep going through it. You
I'm
got
so sorry. During this amazing speech that I absolutely agree with, we've got Rocket here. Rocket agrees with you. So please
it.
continue.
um, I mean, I think that was basically it. Like, just persevere through the challenges and give yourself some friends to lean on. You don't have to go through things yourself, your family, your friends, connections you make through whatever industry you're in. You know, you can rely on those people to help you get through these challenges and obstacles.
I love that. Absolutely agree with that. There's going to be, I mean, there's challenges in every field, but I think the film industry has some real specific ones that can
For
really
sure.
knock you down if you let them. And so yeah, absolutely. You, when you were like, don't do it, you can rely on other people. I was like, oh, that was at me.
Yeah,
I felt
same,
that one.
same.
I felt that one.
I
I need
learned.
to remember that, very much so. And so when things do get tough, what pushes you to keep going?
I think just my passion for film and the fact that I do have so many people, well, I think it's a lot of people that are following me and enjoy what I'm making. I think that definitely pushes me to keep going, and also the support from my family and my friends, that sometimes I doubt myself and I'm like, am I really a good filmmaker? Like, should I really be doing this? And they're like, you are amazing. Never give up on this. And so yeah, that praise and that support really helps me keep pushing forward.
Well, and your family and friends are absolutely correct. I think you are all, I also think you're an amazing filmmaker. What you do is so inspiring. And I personally am so glad that you are doing what you do, because you are such an inspiration to so many.
Thank
Um,
you.
of course. And last but most certainly not least, where can people follow you and keep up with what you're doing?
All right, so my channel on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube is Family Circus Pro, and my personal Instagram is Maddie Traub, if you want to come follow me.
Yay. That will all be in the description box below. So everyone, I go click on those links, watch some of Family Circus Pro's videos, and get hyped up for their other ones coming out. I was super excited too when you guys did your during the pandemic, the virtual film, and I was so honored to be asked to be a part of Rumors. So
Yeah.
everyone go see Rumors and
Yes.
everything else on the channel. But thank you so much for being on the show. It was just, I mean, it was amazing to talk to you in general. And so I'm so excited for this to come out and for your vlogs. I love I love your vlog so much. My favorite part was when you were like, I should have waited to put on the nails until
Yeah,
after
that
I
was bad.
edited. Oh, I love that. But yes, thank you so much for being on the show. I'm going
Yeah,
to
thank
click
you.
of course. I'm going to click end on the recording and we are going to head out of Zoom.
Alrighty.
Thank you all so much again for watching today. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, you can click the subscribe button and that notification bell if you want. No pressure. You can also follow us on Instagram if you want. I just forget my own outro. If you yourself are a creative and you're interested in being on the show, you can check out the description box below. There's a link on where you can submit yourself, and you can find links to follow Madison and I on all of our social medias if you want to. Once again, no pressure, you don't have to. Next week, I have a guest, as I'm always excited about all of my guests, but I am super excited to have my friend Mariana Zaccarone on the show. And this is because, well, just Mariana's awesome, but also because she and I went to college, our college program together. And so I'm very, very excited to talk to her again, because I haven't talked to her in a little while, and I really need to fix that. So I'm very excited to have her on the show. You will not want to miss it. And yeah, I think that's it. So thank you so much again for watching, and we will see you next Tuesday.